3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1051. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a reoccurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support as well as your presence during this reading. So there are already a couple of things that I'm feeling are significant for this reading for you or for whoever ultimately resonates with it. The first thing is, I saw the number 111 while I was being silent for that pop-up just seconds ago. And that number for me is about trusting yourself. Sometimes it can also be a message for me as a reader to trust myself, the guided feeling of a reading, the guidance, whatever information I feel called to express or bring to you. Make sure you are in tune with and connecting with your own intuition, inner compass, moral compass, instincts. There could be a significant decision or many significant decisions where it's really important to trust yourself and your own judgment. What you feel called to do and where you feel called to go. The next thing I want to talk about is the symbolism of an ant, and what's really I got a little bit distracted because when I said ant, I meant the insect, but maybe there's a family member, an ant. And I just felt the word zia, which means ant in Italian, so that could be confirmation from somebody's ancestors. But there is a significant ant that this reading could be about. Of course, someone you're related to. But the insect, what's standing out to me about the symbolism of that insect, an ant, is teamwork. And working together with someone or something to build and create. 1 second. I'm going to close this window real quick. Hold up. There's someone out there doing things, and I don't want to risk there being background noise. But yeah, there could be somebody here that you're trying to work with, build something with, or more than one person. And that's important to you and could be relevant in this reading, or it's just some confirmation that you may or may not need. Getting into interpreting the number 1051. I did just want to say 1015, so if you do feel called, maybe that reading, mystery reading 1015, could be significant for you to watch. Maybe there's some important messages, relevant messages that could be useful for you. But the number 1051, starting with the number 1, there are 2 ones, and given we already saw and talked about the number 111, it's very, very clear that there is something significant here about your intuition trying to get your attention, your inner voice trying to give you some answers, or some direction. I feel like it's really important to identify and respect what your intuition wants you to do, what your instincts want you to do in a certain situation or relationship. The number 0 can be about patterns and cycles, especially when it comes to healing. So maybe there are some patterns, recurring themes, playing out within yourself, the way that you think, feel, and believe, or in your reality in a certain situation. Noticing these patterns and respecting them, feel like it could really help with your confidence or trusting what your intuition is already telling you. Someone here, you really could have strong pattern recognition. Just because you can't prove something to be true, that doesn't mean you're crazy. And, it's definitely important to consider whether you're seeing things clearly. But as a human being, not enough science and experts in the world will be able to provide proof for what your intuition, your instincts are telling you. Maybe there is something here more to do with your imagination and less to do with your logical mind. It's okay to trust yourself, especially if things are feeling really aligned and the signs are undeniable. Really, if there's any sense of self-doubt, it's really, really important, it feels like, to reflect on that and to see if it's warranted. Are you still clinging on to self-doubt that you learned as a kid or in a traumatic situation? Or are you really not seeing things clearly? What is it? Is it your fear or your intuition? Is it loud or quiet? This feeling, this calling, this pull. Interesting. I am thinking of how in pool there is an 8-ball. And it's feeling connected to the magic 8-ball. Obviously, how legitimate you think that is totally up to you. It can get complicated if you believe that everything happens for a reason. Maybe this is very specific and you have used an 8-ball and you've had, just a significant experience with it. But there's something here about just seeking answers, really. The number 8 is about loss and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. I'm seeing the 5 of Cups. Just wanted to say the 5 of Wands. So I feel like maybe there's some sort of loss that you have experienced here as the result of a conflict or a misalignment in what you and another person wanted or another situation. And it can be more than one person if that resonates for you. Another way that the number 0 can be interpreted is just a reminder that it's important to know when to put yourself first. There could definitely be a loss here that is important for you to grieve from in a healthy way and to not perceive as a reflection of your worth, your value, what you're capable of, and what's possible for you. It could really just be a simple misalignment, even if the situation is complicated. No matter what relationships or journeys are going on outside of you, there's always one with yourself. The relationship with yourself running parallel. And it's always important to consider the relationship and the journey with yourself while considering others outside of yours. It's okay to put yourself first, to consider yourself, really, to be considerate toward yourself, especially if you are considerate towards others. There could be someone here who is trying to make you feel more like a bad person than you actually are. Now, whether they're delusional or their intentions are malicious in some sense, that's not for me to decide. But either way, you deserve to be seen and respected for who you are, no matter what. Who you are, what you want, and what you need, especially what you need. Your needs deserve to be respected. You could have had a falling out with somebody or a situation because your needs simply didn't align with how much space this person or this situation was willing to give you, or could give you. I just really encourage you to move on from something that was painful in a way that is about self-love, self-care, rather than self-destruction and neglecting yourself. I say it a lot in readings, and I'll say it again. You deserve to have your own back and to be your own best friend. Like I said, that relationship with yourself is always running parallel. So always consider that. And if anyone makes you feel bad for considering that, maybe they're projecting and they're the ones who are actually being selfish. That kind of gave me chills a little bit. The next number, number 5. That one was standing out to me particularly with me feeling the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Cups. The number 5 is about change and transformation. This could be confirmation of a personal transformation you're going through, or just some changes that you are going through that may not be easy, but I definitely feel are worth it, at the very least. You could be feeling uncomfortable, things could be feeling uncertain, but I really think that if it's out of self-respect and self-care and self-love, the universe will have your back. I believe that the universe is always geared toward the light and creation. Maybe it's its preferred way of expression. Maybe preferred isn't the right word. It really just depends on how conscious it is. But I hope I'm making sense. I believe that if you want to bring more light into this world, you'll be supported by the universe. In one way or another, spiritually you are supported. You're not alone. Whether it's your spirit guides that relate with you or just other spiritual people. I did see the number 3, 4, and 5 on the timer, which is a sign about trusting that everything happens for a reason. You are going through these changes, difficult changes, for a reason. You are feeling called to transform, to align more closely with yourself and who you truly are for a reason. The impact that you have does matter. You do make a difference, and it's because of how connected we are. We're not as divided as they want us to believe. Who's they? You're not crazy. I can tell you that. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 5 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And number 7 is about gaining wisdom, expanding your awareness and your consciousness, and finding deeper meaning. What are you learning from this? What is being revealed to you that is not only bringing you peace, but helping you understand the world better in a way that is empowering? You could be receiving some information that is difficult to hear about one thing or another, and it's important that you use this discomfort to work for you rather than against you, however that may resonate for you. When I said finding deeper meaning, it really reminded me of whenever I saw the number 345 and trusting that everything happens for a reason. I just want you to know that there is, if you feel it, it's there. The deeper meaning, the deeper reason. Maybe that's why there's been such a push here for you to trust yourself, trust your intuition, trust what your soul is telling you. Not your human mind, but your soul's intuition, your instincts. Sometimes what makes sense first appears to not have any logic at all. But I do believe that there is a logical reason for everything. Sometimes it just looks like magic or mystical because we just don't understand the mechanism behind it. And I will let you do with that information what you will. So as you can see, there are 3 decks of cards here on the table. I'm going to start with the Magical Dogs Tarot, looking at the light in a situation and what the light can be. It can mean so many different things. What's being illuminated, what's positive. It can mean different things, but I'm going to leave it very open-ended. And I think, maybe the messages will come clearer that way as well, not being too specific about what each of these cards mean. But after I pull a card from this deck, I'm going to move on to the Night Before Christmas Tarot here to look at the darkness in a situation. And the light and the dark, this could be within yourself, in a situation, energies outside of yourself, or within another person or people that you are connected to. And then I'll wrap up the reading by drawing out a card from the Ancestor Spirit Oracle to see what your ancestors, or the ancestors, depending on whose ancestors are involved, what the ancestors want to say about the light and the dark within yourself, someone else, other people, or in a situation. So let's go ahead, grab these cards here, start shuffling out the card. Wow. So the first card that flipped over is the Ace of Wands. This is definitely a very positive thing without me having to, I guess you could say, set the stage. But, assign meaning to what each card means for this reading. The Ace of Wands is about an opportunity that is very connected to what you're passionate about or who you are passionate about. That's a pretty straightforward message there. So let's go ahead and draw a card from the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot now to see what the darkness in this situation or this relationship or these relationships is. What darkness do you want to show me about an opportunity that the viewer is passionate about? Wow. We have the Five of Swords in reverse. We did talk about the Five of Cups, the Five of Wands. For some reason I wanted to say the Five of Weapons. I don't even have a deck that labels the cards like that. You really could be going through some sort of conflict here. I'm noticing how there's a lot of orange on these cards as well. I think it is the solar plexus chakra, or the sacral chakra, that is connected with the color orange. If not, it's definitely the solar plexus. But I really feel that there is a lot of passion, a lot of love, hope in this situation, and what could be overshadowing that or messing with that, some sort of conflict that you are dealing with within yourself. This feels like confirmation of what I've already talked about with the feeling of loss and dealing with the feeling of losing someone or something due to misalignment. You could definitely be still trying to grieve, recover, and heal from that, and this really feels like confirmation to keep doing that, because I feel like you're going in the right direction with that. This Five of Swords card says compassion, understanding, reconciliation, forgiveness, and empathy. And upright it says battle and inner conflict. And this card, actually, you see Jack with this guy, I don't remember his name, but this character is on the Devil card, and the Devil Tarot card in this Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot deck. I just saw the number 122 on the timer, which is a sign about change starting with you. It feels like there's a strong message here to be the change that you wish to see. I find it interesting that we are talking about the Devil card in tarot because it has the number 15 on it, and I said in the beginning that mystery reading number 1015 might be significant for you. I thought I was hearing sirens outside. Maybe not, but yeah. I feel that it's important for you to heal so you don't sabotage this opportunity, this relationship, this group project, whatever it is that you are passionate about. Allow yourself to forgive, to have empathy, whether it's with yourself or another person, to be more compassionate with yourself. I was actually thinking today about self-compassion because for me personally, I'm very tired. And I've just been trying to have the mindset of not being so frustrated with myself and taking things so seriously, because I am carrying a lot. And I just don't, going into my responsibilities with a sense of self-compassion, it really helps with my mood and my attitude. And maybe that could be helpful for you as well, to just really be kind to yourself. Be a best friend to yourself right now. Communicate with yourself. Support yourself. Nurture and protect yourself. This could definitely be a really good opportunity to connect with yourself. And I was just about to say I'm going to move on to the Ancestor Spirit Oracle, and I saw the number 321, which is another sign to trust everything happens for a reason. And I'm going to take that as whatever I pull from this Ancestor Spirit Oracle deck, you are definitely seeing it for a reason, whether I can intuitively interpret what it is or not. If your intuition connects with something with this card, stands out to you, trust yourself. Let's go ahead and draw out this Oracle card. How fitting. So this card says psychic strength, says shield, talismans, gold light. This Hamza always stands out to me whenever I pull this card, and I believe that the Hamza is a symbol or talisman of protection. Perhaps there is a need for you here to protect yourself spiritually in whatever way really does work for you, whether it's crystals, Hamza, the evil eye, your own, acknowledging the control that you have over your own mind, feelings, and beliefs. This really does feel like an opportunity to protect yourself, especially psychically. I find it interesting that I pulled this card, knowing how many messages there have been to trust yourself. This feels like it could be an opportunity to protect yourself from doubting yourself, protecting yourself from yourself. And that really hits so right because of talking about the devil. That card can be about self-destruction. The number 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. The number 6 is about a choice between self-destruction and self-love. And it does feel that you are really being encouraged to move forward with self-love, self-compassion, so you can trust yourself more in the way that you deserve instead of reliving who you used to be. And right as I was about to stop recording, I saw the number 543.